Hey, what's happening, DC Reviews? Me, the Guy01. Welcome to this week's first episode on the Walkthrough channel. This week, it's the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman against Cara. The funny thing is, as I'm doing this match, as I was signing up, I kind of realized that I don't think either of these guys actually work for WWE anymore. Huh. Awkward. But yeah, so it was Sin Cara's birthday on September 5th. He turned 44. It was Braun Strowman's birthday, September 6th. He turned 38. And Paul Heyman's birthday on today, September 11th. He turns 56. So some pretty big news happened before I get into Raw and SmackDown. And it all happened on Wednesday night when did it happen? I don't know, it happened earlier this week. But we had some AEW debuts. Ruby Riott debuted, which, you know, nice for her. Glad she was able to find a job after WWE fired her and all that. But then were the two debuts of Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole in AEW. Yeah. So, that's two pretty big losses for WWE, because remember, they were never actually fired from WWE. Their contracts just came up, and I guess Bryan was fed up with WWE's crap, and I'm pretty sure same could be said for Adam Cole. So yeah, they're both in AEW now, which, remember how last week we were talking about how or maybe even 2 weeks ago, how we were talking about 2K22 isn't coming out until early 2022. Well, something that a lot of people were saying, and I think I even mentioned in that video, was what was I saying? I think I even mentioned that in last week's episode or 2 weeks ago, where one reason that people think that WWE might be holding off on releasing the game is because they didn't know who they needed to include or who they needed to remove from the game. And now we can see that they probably made the right decision, because that would have been kind of awkward if both Bryan, and Cole were in 2K22. Which of course now brings up, who will be included in this game? Like, will people like Braun and Bray be included? Because they haven't really joined another company yet. They haven't, burned the bridge between them and WWE. So will they even include him or them? How much of Bryan and Cole will stay in the game? Like, will some of their moves stay in the game? So yeah, we'll see. Raw. Alright, let's get into Raw. Bobby Lashley and MVP confronted Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. My voice is I don't know. I think I talked a lot in the walkthrough video, so my voice is tired. Bobby Lashley challenged Randy Orton to a match. Orton agreed, but it had to be a title match for him to agree to it. MVP agrees to the title match and sets it for Extreme Rules. Now in full control. Sheamus beat Drew McIntyre in order to get a U.S. title shot. Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross beat Natalya and Tamina. Ooh. Karrion Kross beat John Morrison. So remember how last week we talked about how it seemed that WWE were setting up a Miz versus Morrison feud, but then something went wrong, so they just kind of had to put Morrison in the match with Cross. Well, I think we now know what that problem was, and that problem is called Dancing with the Stars. So yeah, The Miz has joined the cast of Dancing with the Stars, so he's probably going to be off of TV for quite a bit. Which means that we might not get that Miz Morrison feud until he returns, if, you know, WWE hasn't forgotten about it already. I mean, it's WWE, you know how they can be sometimes. So Cara's got his comeback on, but it's not working for him. Ooh. Man, Sin Cara's strong. Oh, no, you don't. Back in the ring. What reversal? Ooh. Charlotte Flair faced Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. Shayna Baszler distracts Nia, which allows Charlotte to beat Nia to retain. Afterwards, Alexa Bliss appeared in the ring to confront Charlotte and seemingly challenge her for the title. Uh-oh. Come on, my leg weighs as much as you do. Hey, get off. No. Goodbye. Reginald beat Akira Tozawa to retain the 24/7 championship before being chased off by a bunch of wrestlers. So throughout the show, there was actually a tag team gauntlet match. It wasn't all in one go. It was broken up into a series of matches. If the winner kind of stays in. So it was more of a mini tournament than anything else. So and that was pretty much, that took up a good half of the show. So I'll just say all the results for that. Okay. So Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods beat the Viking Raiders. They then went on to beat Jinder Mahal and Veer. They then went to beat Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado. They then beat T-Bar and Mace. After that, T-Bar and Mace attacked Kofi and Woods. As well as Mansoor and Mustafa Ali, who were the next two wrestlers up. Kofi and Woods then beat Mansoor and Ali before AJ Styles and Omos came out and beat the New Day after breaking their streak. Ow. Oh, no, you don't. So yeah. And then, well, the match is going on. Orton and Matt Riddle confront Bobby Lashley and MVP. Omos took out Riddle, and then at ringside, and then in the ring, Bobby Lashley and MVP were able to beat AJ and Omos. Ow. which means that Bobby Lashley and MVP get the shot at the Raw Tag Team titles. And afterwards, Omos and Randy Orton actually work together to take out Bobby Lashley. So that was nice. Teamwork's always nice. Ooh. And that was it for Raw. It was actually a pretty good episode. Some really good matches. And the whole New Day thing, that was impressive. So SmackDown and MSG. The show began with Brock Lesnar confronting Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Brock basically reveals that Paul knew that Brock was at SummerSlam, but for some reason didn't tell Reigns. And Brock even asked, why didn't you tell Reigns that I was at SummerSlam? This upsets Reigns, who walks off. Brock then challenges Reigns for the Universal title through Paul. Before he takes up Paul for the F5. Reigns comes back in and saves Paul, takes out Brock, but Brock begins fighting back and ends up taking out the Usos as Reigns runs off. Ow. How dare you hit me? Get off. Good night. Here we go. Big E, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs beat Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, Apollo Crews, and Otis in a 10-man tag. Seth Rollins beat Edge in a match that took up the majority of the episode. No, really. It was actually a really good match. I actually not gonna. Okay, so how these things work? I usually actually don't watch the full episode of SmackDown because I try to. I have to kind of want to try to get to bed a little bit early, so that way I can get up early and have enough energy to film these, and not just be kind of dead. Flying monster. So I usually kind of don't watch the full episode. I'll watch bits and pieces, but I'll mainly look up the results and kind of see what happened. I do the same thing with Raw, but for this episode of SmackDown, I actually watched the majority of it, mainly because I wanted to see how Seth and Edge ended, because it was a very, very good match. And that last bit of, that last stretch of just Edge refusing to go down, or not even just refusing to go down, like not his body wasn't letting him go down, and it basically forced him to take more punishment than he needed to. And the way he just sold it in his face, that was awesome. Because there weren't that many matches, but because the whole Seth and Edge match took as long as it did, that's kind of why. So yeah, Seth Rollins beat Edge before Edge was then taken out on a stretcher. The Usos faced the Street Profits in a title match. Roman Reigns attacked Montez Ford to cause a DQ. Wee! Oh. So I'm pretty sure Braun did most of the damage there. So yeah, Reigns attacks Ford to cause a DQ, allowing the Usos to retain. Reigns then accepts Brock Lesnar's challenge for Extreme Rules. And then the demon Finn Balor comes out to confront Roman Reigns. Yeah, I did it. Last man standing. I mean, technically I didn't. That shouldn't have counted as me winning, because the match should have technically gone to go no contest. But who cares? I won. Yay! And that was SmackDown. So what did you guys think of Raw and SmackDown? I have to say SmackDown was very good. It was very, very good. Um, and the Raw was actually very good too, mainly because of that tag team turmoil match. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of Brian and Adam Cole being in AEW, because that's gonna be a big deal now. That's gonna get a lot of eyes on the AEW. Well, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because of the time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus and next week for the next part of our Batman Arkham City walkthrough. DC Guy01 and the monster, Braun Strowman, signing out. Bye, guys.